Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Neelambujashyamal Komalangam Sita Samaropitavamabhagam Panavu Maha Sayakacharu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham. Adorations to Lord Rama, whose complexion is like a blue lotus, who is very tender and delightful in appearance. Sita is seated on his left side, is carrying a powerful bow and arrow in his hands. Shri Ramcharitmanas, Ayodhya Kanda, verse number 2. Remember, King Dasharatha, who was rejoicing all the brothers, his sons, Rama and all his brothers, and their brides, and very happy time in Ayodhya day by day. And in that, he happened to look into the mirror. Mirror on the wall. And that created a big change. And what did he see? He saw the hair that is close to the ears had becoming grey. Not all the head, just the ears. That's the hair near the ear. People are satisfied with that story. I have given it a deeper meaning. If your hearing is spiritual shravana, listening to the glory of God, all that you hear is a junk. It's not pure oxygen, just like the air. The real atmosphere is oxygen. But every nose doesn't take the oxygen. Every nose has a swab of vasana. Without going to further details, listening to the world, constantly, morning till night, and you become yourself a big orator, talking about the world. You have double listening. Listen to what you have been saying, and listening to what others have been saying. That type of shravana is envenomed by kleshas, raga, dvesha, attachment, hatred, and I will not go into details. That shravana is, that type of listening is the basis for all the miseries of the world. But in the case of King Dasharatha, that shravana has changed. His ears are filled with the glory of Rama. And now it's affected. Here represents vasanas, subtle desires. Vasanas stay black. Black here refers to darkness. But when we begin to listen, the darkness changes into light. So, close to the listening process, King Dasharatha suddenly became awakened to the need for spiritual progress, awakened to the idea that Rama must take over the empire, that Rama must inherit. In the place of Dasharatha, Rama must rise. Dasharatha is soul in early stage. Now soul becomes purified, rises as Rama. And that must occur in every aspirant. You don't wait for Treta Yuga. यह विचारूर आनि नृप सुदिन सुअवसरूपाई प्रेम पुलकी तन मुदित मन गुरु ही सुनाय उजाई. This vichar came in the heart, vichar the thought, that Rama must become the heir apparent to the throne. Rama must become the king. Actually, the old style, he should be the king and Dasharatha will go into forest, retirement. I'm talking about the ritualistic level. The philosophy level, the profounder level, that once the soul has discovered a higher level of its reality, it must subside and let the higher shine. Dasharatha, that level where we are just driving the chariot with the 10, thus 5 senses, 5 organs of action, altogether there are thus 10. And the 10 are yoked to your personality, representing your action and your thinking, jnanendriyas, karmendriyas. But once that has been well in order, Dasharatha has perfected that level of karma, done a lot of good karmas, and instead of being attracted to heaven, his soul is drawn to moksha, highest level. And that brought out in a storyline, he must allow Rama to become the ruler while he is still alive. That state of Jivan Mukti, while you are still alive with your normal personality, you see the emergence of the higher in you. कहै भुआल सुनिय मुनि नायक भय राम सब विधि सब लायक. First let me tell you, the King Dasharatha on an auspicious day and in a very auspicious time, with a mind filled with divine love, he went to Guru Vasishtha, Sage Vasishtha, and he said, Kahai bhualu swaniya mani nayak, bhai ram samabiti sabalayak. King said, O sage, the Lord of all sages, listen to what I am pleading before you. Shri Rama has become perfectly suitable to being the king. सेवक सचिव सकल सुरवासी ये हमारे अरिबत मित्र उदासी. All people, those who are servants, ministers, citizens of Ayodhya, and those who are enemies, friends, and those who are indifferent, they all adore Rama. Therefore, Rama has become fit to take over this entire kingdom. You are being pointed out that goal of life. In order to attain the goal of life, That attitude must develop within you. An attitude which is divine, a radiation from Rama, a divine vision that remains unaffected by different types of people. You live in the world and mind is constantly affected by those who are friends, those who are enemies, that who don't have the same attitude. Mind is constantly shaken and acts differently to different types of people. We try to understand very profoundly. In practical life, you may have to act differently, but in your heart, you should not have different type of impressions of animosity, friendship. But in your heart, there must be the vision of Rama. Because to Rama, all are lovable. The entire society of all types of people, they adore Rama. सबहि राम प्रिय जहि बिधि मोहि, प्रभु आशीष जनु तनु धरि सोहि. All people loved me. Likewise, all people love Rama. It's a subtle point behind it. Rama is becoming more endearing to the masses than King Dasharatha. विप्र सहित परिवार गोसाई, करहि छोहु सब रौरिहि नाई. Rama is as if the embodiment of all your blessings. All your blessings have taken a human shape in the form of Rama. All the Brahmins and Brahmin families love Rama exactly the same way as you, Sage Vasishtha, love him. To figure out what it means. In other words, love for Rama is not limited type of love coming from different sections of society. Rama is that type of love that's potential in every heart. Divine love is Rama. Whether you like it or not, whether you understand it or not, every aspect of love in you, its foundation is Rama. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. All becomes dear for the sake of self. And Rama is the absolute self. So once you see that coming as in a human embodiment, the mind is being drawn to that all is love, drawn to Brahman. Rama has become a channel to Brahman. His sagun sakar form. ये गुरु चरण रेणु सिर धरहि, ते जनु सकल विभव बस करहि. Those who place the dust of Guru's feet on their head, as if they attain all the glories of this earth. The statement is very simple, but don't take it literally. Dust has viruses. But the mystical expression from ancient times, instead of saying, follow the teachings of the Guru, allegorically, follow his feet. His teachings have come through his feet. How he has conducted himself, that has brought out his wisdom. So go after those footprints and pick up the dust from there. Pick up the subtle materials that allowed the sage to rise. And let his feet, that movement symbolized by his feet, become the source of your inspiration. And in a very practical way, adoring the feet, pressing upon the feet, reflexology. All that is profoundly powerful, like yantras, mantras. So whoever pursues the footsteps of Guru, sages, all the power, all the glory of the world comes to them, because Guru Govinda dono kare, kake lagu paaye. There is a statement. Guru and Krishna both came together, and a devotee ignores Krishna, turns to Ram, turns to the Guru. Because it is because of Guru he was led to Krishna. Subtle meaning is that if you have the darshan of God in your heart, turn to Guru. Otherwise that darshan will become a superficial experience. Hold on to Guru means hold on to the teachings of the Guru. Bring the teachings in your daily life with having faith in Guru, drawing inspiration from Guru. Allow your life to flow. Then the darshan that comes of God will be a perfect darshan. Otherwise, what happens? A disciple starts sadhana, hardly he has acquired little sattva in the mind, a vision comes. And in your vision, you see your deity came, smiled and said, and you said to deity, enlighten me. And he said, oh yes, enlightened. Now you wake up, I don't need Guru anymore. I'm enlightened. So that will be the predicament. If Guru and Govinda both are there, and we ignore Guru, then Govinda darshan will be a fake darshan. Figure that out. अब अभिलाषु एक मन मोरे पूजहि नाथ अनुग्रह तोरे. King Dasharatha says to Vasishtha, I have come to you with one special wish. And that will be fulfilled by your grace only. मुनि प्रसन्न लखि सहज सनेहु, कहेउ नरेश रजाय सुदेहु. Sage Vasishtha was very pleased with the love that expressed through King Dasharatha. That love was sahaj, nothing artificial about it. Spontaneous, profound. And the sage Vasishtha, very pleased, he said, O king, express what you want. Speak of your wish. Your wish is command. Sage speaks again in a mystic, allegorical language. Sage doesn't need any command, but giving honor to the king. Rajan Raur Namu Jasu Sab Abhimat Datar Phalanugami Mahipamani Man Abhilashu Tumhar. O king, your name and your glory is the giver of all that one may desire. Your personality grants the fulfillment of cherished desires of all. Because King Dasharatha is embodiment of virtue. He has, according to his storyline and according to philosophy, he represents that state where the soul is enriched by virtuous karmas to such an extent that the soul doesn't want to stay in heaven. When virtuous karmas are not at in the highest level, then you expect prosperity, to enjoy prosperity in the world of time and space. And that is that from a worldly point of view, it is a great thing. But from a profounder point of view, it is a great foolishness. To stay with the world, no matter how rich, how prosperous, how much history you can make, all that means nothing. Good karma must open the door to liberation, not swarga. If that develops, then a person has attained real spiritual maturity. But if that has not developed, all that you want to get away from troubles, get into more comfortable life, think of better comfort, more joy, settle down all worldly problems day by day and nothing more. I'm not saying that these are unnecessary, you do all that. But if you have a spiritual goal, all that you do on the basis of God. Every little thing you do, God is, you ring the bell in God's abode. So much that your ring constantly sings in your mind. So, while you are handling the world with all its details and entanglements, what goes in your heart is the ringing melody of divine love. If you figure out how to do that, you have solved all the problems. You have secured bhakti. And bhakti is secured, liberation becomes a slave to that bhakti. So the sage Vasishtha is glorifying King Dasharatha, that you have become the source of inspiration for so many people. O crowning glory of kings, whatever you wish, fulfillment will follow your wish like a shadow follows a substance. That also is a profound. Your mind is not well disciplined, controlled, and purified. The desire and its fulfillment both are distant. You desire, but you know that he may not be fulfilled. But you are advanced. Your wish is divine will expressing through your mind. Your wish, just like you are in your room and you open a little door, the ray comes into your room. So your wish is illumined by divine presence. So it is not just your wish, it's a divine prompting. This being so, fulfillment of that wish will follow just like you walk and your shadow follows you. You cannot be frustrated. This is the definition of Sat Sankalpa. That type of will, it is potential in every individual. And you have experiences of that in certain degrees. There have been times of sattva when you had certain wish, and now you find what you have attained is 100 times more than you were wishing. Your mind gets blown away. Then you become inspired. You become a poet, a literary personality. You shine in whatever job you do. You live with inspiration. So all great things that we talk about, they come in life in small degrees. And you have to recognize that. What makes that experience? Hardly you went on holding a desire with firstly you held the desire or your wish, not as a pressure, but something that delights your mind. Like you're holding like a baby peacock. And it is fulfilled, the peacock is dancing. But if you have a baby peacock, is going to dance. There's no problem about it. If that type of mentation develops, that's the ideal to develop. And you don't work for it, you prepare, integrate yourself, allow divine love to take over your personality. And as you are becoming attuned to God, that experience will come. Every cherished wish beyond your imagination spreads out before you, fulfills you. And what you never wished, because your mind is incapable of expressing it, its tongue is limited. That which you can't express is given to you, which is liberation. So, phal anugami abhilash. Abhilash is wish. Wish that which is pursued by the fruit. Or wish and fruit, they become completely linked together. And that's not the case. When your mind is under rajas, tamas, you wish, but at the same time, immediately, a voice comes in your mind. That wish is swish. It will not happen the way you want it. Then your mind builds up negativity. What a miserable life. This wish will never be fulfilled. So your mind makes up all the drama, creating negativity. But Godward movement avoids this. Therefore, one must be keen in promoting bhakti in your heart through satsanga, japa, and through being cautious, not building up negative karmas. सब विधि गुरु प्रसन्न जिये जानी, बोले उराऊ रहस्य मृदुबानी. Seeing the Guru, Vasishtha was so happy with the king. Now the king expressed his desire, his wish. नाथ राम करि अहि जुबराजू, कहिए कृपा करि करिय समाजू. O Lord, he tells Sage Vasishtha, please let Rama become the heir apparent to the throne. So perform all the ritual needed for declaring Rama as Yuvaraj, heir apparent to the throne. Give me the permission to do so, and we will become busy in coronating Rama as heir apparent to the throne. मोहि अछत यहु होई उछाहु, लहि लोग सब जो लोचन लाहु. May this festivity of joy, Anand Utsav, may this happen in my very life. So do not postpone it. My hair is turning grey. I want to witness Rama as the glorious king, Lord of Lords. That's a storyline, mystic line. If you are well prepared with spiritual qualifications, you are Dasharatha. And while you are still in the body, Jivan Mukti state comes, Rama rises. And that's the ideal set. प्रभु प्रसाद शिव सबहि निबाहि, यह लालसा एक मन माहि. By your grace and by the blessings of Lord Shiva, all my desires are fulfilled. There's only one Rama to become the king. Ek lalasa. When you have ek lalasa, that is called mumukshutva. Aspiration for attaining God realization. Nothing else. Just God realization. पुनि न सोच तनु रहु कि जाऊ, जेहि न होई पाछे पछिताऊ. With the fulfillment of this cherished desire, I will have no more worry. Whether the body stays or moves away, I will have no regret. I will have absolute fulfillment. सुनि मुनि दशरथ बचन सुहाये, मंगल मोद मूल मन भाये. Sage Vasishtha was full of joy listening to these words of King Dasharatha. The words implying that Rama must become the ruler. A personality whose heart has blossomed with the aspiration, may I attain enlightenment. And that's the news of the greatest joy for Guru Vasishtha. सुनु नृप जासु विमुख पछिताहि, जासु भजन बिनु चरनि न जाहि. Vasishtha said, O king, listen. He who is the Lord of all that is in the universe, in Vedantic terminology, he who is Brahman. All those who remain away from Brahman, they go through countless sufferings. Without developing bhakti, devotion to Brahman, to God, the burning of the heart is never cooled down. That Brahman has come in your life as your beloved son. And that Rama, Prem Anugami. As you develop devotion to God, Rama goes after those who have developed devotional love. He described God has equal vision to all. But he loves his devotee dearly. The sun shining over many buckets of water. The sun is shining with equal vision. But the bucket of water that is clean, clear, reflects the sun. So now put it now in a language, poetic language. The sun is present for all, but he is more endearingly present for one who has devotion, purity of heart. So he loves his devotee in a special way. बेगी विलंब न करिय नृप, साजिय सबुहि समाजु, सुदिन सुमंगल तबहि तब जब, राम होहि युवराजु. O king, Do not delay. Prepare for Rama's coronation. And don't look for a special day and a special time. Whenever Rama becomes the heir apparent to the throne, that's the best day, that's the best auspicious. मुदित महीपति मंदिर आए, सेवक सचिव सुमंत्र बुलाए. King, having received Vasishtha's permission, joyously returned to his palace, called his ministers and his servants. कही जय जीव शीशत जनाए, भूप सुमंगल बचन सुनाए. And all those people following the ancient tradition, they bowed down their heads before King Dasharatha, saying Jai Jiva, glory to the Jiva. Recognizing a human being not as a body, not as your identity as you hold it, but the soul. Glory to the soul. Jai Jiva. And the king conveyed to them this wondrous news that Rama is going to be the heir apparent to the throne. All Ayodhya will know he is going to be the sovereign king. जो पांचहि मत लागे नीका, करहु हर्षि ही राम ही टीका. If this statement of mine is in accord with Panchamat. Panchamat means kind of a popular approval in politics. All people don't approve, but at least important personalities, important groups come to recognize who will be the president, who will be the king. And that type of group is called, in India, called Panch. And the group of Panch system is called Panchayat. But the source of that Panch is Sat Chit Ananda, name and form. These 5 ingredients go to form the world process. And these 5 must be in harmony in your project. If the project are focused on these 5 ingredients in a perfect way, the name and forms, they serve Satchit Ananda and they fade away. If you follow Panchamat, you will move towards first 3 aspects of the truth, Satchit Ananda, which adds up to one absolute. Follow Panchamat and you will attain non-duality. And how do you follow Panchamat? If you practice integral yoga in your life, then you are following Panchamat. You are attuning yourself to the world of names and forms in a correct way. And if well attuned, names and forms, they are Maya. They are created by your mind. Concepts in your mind are forms. They are rather names. Concepts are names. Possessions externally, they are forms. Say, for example, you built up a house for yourself to live in, your residence. Your picture of the house is the form. And you have a special ID that you keep in pocket that proves that you are the owner. I'll give you an allegorical way to understand. A subtle concept internally, this is mine. That's name. But names and forms, if you are practicing yoga in a proper way, they will not be playing their role to hide Satchit Ananda. They will play the role to bring out Satchidananda. Same word. If you are not well attuned, then your movement is asura movement. Sur in harmony. Asur without that harmony. With asura movement, this panch tattva, these 5 ingredients, they will not be auspicious for you. Sura movement, the 5 will turn into 3, 3 will turn into 1. Figure that out. These are all simple mathematics. Mantri mudita sunata priyabani abhimata birawara pareujanupani बिनती सचिव करहि कर जोरी जियहु जगतपति वरिस करोरी. These were such delightful words, loving words that fell in the ears of those ministers. The news that Rama will be the king. And poetically described, their cherished wish in their mind. Everyone has certain cherished wish. That what you have, it remains in suspense, and at times frost comes upon it. If it is a plant, cherished wish, a creeper, most times suddenly weather condition changes, too much heat, too much cold, and it shrivels away. But in this state, when King Dasharatha said, Rama will be the king, now as if gentle shower fell upon the creeper of their cherished wish. It's no longer to wish. Now it is going to be fulfilled beyond imagination. When you see a creeper, you don't know all the beauty that it holds within it. But when with a little shower brings out blossoms, and every little petal looks at you and make you jealous. बिनती सचिव करिय कर जोरी जियहु जगतपति बरिस करोरी. All the ministers with folded hands, they glorified King Dasharatha. Said, O king, may you live for crores of years, millions of years, for such a wonderful news. जग मंगल भल काज विचारा बेगिए नाथ न लाइए बारा. And they said, this declaring Rama as heir apparent to the throne, coronating Rama, is a giver of delight to the entire universe. Therefore, O Lord, do not delay this. It should be done immediately. And that's what the king wanted to hear, and he was filled with joy. Bharat nirpahimi bodhu suni sachiva subhasha, Bharat baud janu lahi susaka. These words of ministers delighted the heart of King Dasharatha. And that again is poetically described just like a beautiful creeper suddenly finds a wonderful support. Beautiful creeper just hanging downwards. A big, nice branch, good looking, divinely beautiful. And now the creeper entwines it. All this happen within your mind, you see. Kaheu bhoop muni rajakar, joi joi ayasu hoi, Rama Raj abhishek hit, begi karahu soi soi. King said, now Sage Vasishtha, as he directs, as he gives the instructions for this particular function, may everyone follow the guidance of Sage Vasishtha. Harashi Munish kaheu mridubani, anahu sakala sutira tapani. And Sage Vasishtha said, bring sacred waters from all the pilgrimage centers of this world. And in storyline, people do it quickly, like a magic. Philosophy line, if you are enshrining Rama, God in your heart, everything becomes divine. All the sacred waters begin to flow in your own personality. Man Jangat Katvat Me Ganga. Your mind becomes highly enriched with devotion to God. Then pick up just a bowl of water and it's Ganga. To figure that out, the whole world becomes God, you see. That's the purpose of going to tirthas or pilgrimage centers. And the greatest tirtha is to discover love of God in your own personality. But if tirtha simply makes you stressed, and you end up developing another plan. This year I didn't succeed, so let's work hard, get all the money. Next year we'll do it again. You are getting benefited. Tirtha has its own benefits. But you could have profounder benefit. You begin to turn your own personality into a temple. Deho devalayo prokto. This your personality is not yours. None of this, not a single cell is under your control. It is Devalaya, God has created it. God abides in it. God is a permeating reality behind everything within your body. Why should the mind develop that attitude? So when you are enshrining Rama, then all the tirthas, pilgrimage centers have come right near. And it's good to understand when you do meditation, allow your feeling to be very magnanimous. Look at Rama, look at whoever is your Ishta Devata. Develop a feeling that the grace is emanating from God, showering upon you. And all the sacred waters of the world have joined in, and you are offering your Shraddhanjali to God. It's a word of it's bhavana that works in spiritual movement, not your physical body, how much money you gave and how much tickets cost and all that. And all type of auspicious things are collected when people do some sacred ceremony. Special herbs, fruits, roots, leaves, all things that are considered auspicious, they are collected. That's the ritual aspect. Deeper aspect, you collect all the divine hidden blossoms within your heart. Pick up all that is divine that go to constitute your personality. When I say all, you must realize it's a progressive. You can't have all, at least have a good feeling as a flower and offer to God. And with this I'm going to conclude. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.